Central Cee has finally signed a record deal and landed himself on the XXL freshman list after years of being the fastest growing independent artist to date. But what has made him sign, and what does this actually mean? Fans of Central Cee know that he has been toying with the idea of signing since his breakthrough hit Day in the Life, and he has talked about the different offers he has received time and time again throughout his musical catalogue. So has he really signed, and if so, why? Before I go any further with this video, I want to clarify that I have not read the terms of the deal, and this video is based off of every piece of information I could find on the internet, meaning there could be aspects of this breakdown that are untrue or just rumours. Last month, Columbia Records welcomed Central Cee to their roster with rumours of him signing for $25 million, which if you think sounds good off the bat, is nothing compared to the details of the deal. Central Cee did sign, but he signed on some very specific terms, making this a revolutionary deal in hip-hop history. Central Cee's deal consisted of him retaining ownership of all his released masters, as well as only signing 2 projects to Columbia Records under a joint venture partnership for $25 million. Which is more than artists sign whole careers for. A joint venture deal means that both Central Cee and Columbia are partners on the releasing of his next 2 projects and does not allow Columbia to own any of his previous releases or necessarily hold complete ownership of the recordings of the 2 projects. The splits are supposedly 80-20 in favour of Columbia in the US and 50-50 in the UK and Europe, and this is due to how much leverage Central Cee has built in the UK and Europe on his own. A deal like this is extremely rare and really shows how the extent of work Centra's team have done up till now to get a deal like this across the line. In the words of Bello, Centra's manager, we're still keeping the independent spirit alive, and that's reflected in our partnership globally, alluding to the fact that the percentages and terms of the deal are unlike deals we have seen before. I also have a personal theory that the reason Cench may have gone with Columbia is because Columbia did a similar deal with Russ a couple years ago when he dropped There's Really a Wolf and was in a similar position of leverage. Russ did a partnership with Columbia, and because of Columbia having this track record of being more open-minded to altering terms in their deals, this may have played a pivotal role in Columbia being the label that could close the deal. Cench has mentioned many times that he doesn't care how big the advance is, he cares about the terms of his deal and the restrictions it comes with. And because of Columbia's track record, I believe the terms would have been flexible and considerably in Central Cee's favour. Columbia Records are a subsidiary of Sony, so Columbia are working the next 2 projects in the US territory, while Sony UK will handle the UK and European territories. But why would Central Cee sign a deal when he is already so big? Well, Cench has huge potential in the US market, and with a major label behind him and being made a priority, having a label may make his growth more rapid. It is also a win-win because regardless of how well the deal goes, it is only 2 projects and Cench has a huge back catalogue that will be promoted via the push that his next project gets from Columbia being involved. The US is also a much more complicated territory compared to the UK, and in order for him to be able to release songs with artists such as Drake, Ice Spice and Lil Durk, having a major label involved can make this process much smoother and faster. The position these next 2 projects put him in would mean that Cench would not need to sign another deal after. He could go back to being independent, and the new audience he would have acquired from Columbia's push would still listen to his future releases. The main context to this deal though is that Cench has voiced that he wants to be the biggest rapper in the world. And by having major representation in multiple territories, there is truly no limit to how big he could become with a major machine behind him. Every major rapper wants to work with him. He is still yet to release a debut album, and his back catalogue is generating a huge amount of income on a monthly basis. This rumoured $25 million deal will allow him to invest into scaling his career at a rate we have not seen before, all while still receiving monthly payments from his independent catalogue. The biggest takeaway from this deal is understanding how important leverage is, and in today's climate there is very little a label can do to build you from ground zero. So, by building an independent catalogue over time that you remain the owner of is a much better approach if you're looking to get signed, as it allows you to make much more informed decisions and remain stable financially while still getting to use a major label machine.